Lion, 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 lion. Sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. What happened? You know, there are people who just go in there to check out posts and then read comments. One of the funniest part is very old looking ladies so busy asking people to tap on their screens. And I remember there was one time that, I was seeing a video of one of them falling asleep and wakes up into it and goes like tap, 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 tap. And I'm like, oh man, I mean, whatever it is that is happening in there must be really, really important. Man. Yeah, when you hear that tone, you know we're back. What's up, good people? My name is Tony Shira, and this is TCTV1 USA. Welcome to 2025. And ladies and gentlemen, viewers, followers, friends, as I told you, this year we're going to scale up stuff right here. So, we are testing a few things, equipment, setup. I'm sure you've never seen what is behind me or this setup looking like this. I hope you guys like it. If you like it, just put down that on the comment section. We're working towards making this better for everybody. And today, I just want to as I test this, I want us to have a little conversation. Guess what happened? TikTok is down. What happened? I haven't been on TikTok for the longest time. I had signed up a long time ago when it was first introduced, and then I went off it. For some reason, I kind of kept thinking that it was a kids platform. But then, as social media has continued growing and growing, it turned out to be one of the most popular platforms. And I do remember, I've had occasions where people have told me, you guy, you can't be doing all these things and you're not on TikTok. So eventually, I bowed down and I went in. Man, I had just hit 1,000 and I think 1,000 and a couple of, 1,060 something, in a very short time. My profile was really, really growing, and I didn't anticipate that. I didn't think I would get to 1,000 because guess what? I've been on YouTube for a while and I've been pushing stuff, but it has taken so long to get to 1,000, man. I don't even have 4,000 watch hours in the last 12 months. What do you think about that? And by the way, you guys can support me on that, yeah? Yeah, just get into YouTube and, just subscribe. Anyway, that's besides the point. I want to talk about TikTok. You go to your platform and it says, sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. Some of us have asked what really, really happened, what led to the ban. And there are three main things. There are three main things that caused TikTok to be banned. One is concerns from the national security. The second thing was data privacy issues. And then the third one was lack of transparency. Let's try and break that down. What was the first reason? We've said national security concerns. So the US government was concerned that TikTok's parent company, that is called ByteDance, allegedly could have been sharing data with the Chinese government. When it comes to sovereignty and national security and, things like espionage and stuff like that, the US government felt that the parent company was sharing data with the Chinese government. So the second issue was on data privacy. Think about facial tracking. There were allegations that TikTok collected and stored data, including biometric data, without proper consent. When people sign up to some of these platforms, we put our profile information, we put our details in there. It is possible for this information to be stored and put in a database, and then it can be used to, with the development in technology, satellite can be used to even track you and stuff like that. I'm not saying that that's what happened, but let's go to number 3, lack of transparency, right? So TikTok faced criticism that they weren't transparent regarding the data collection, storage, and the sharing practices. In this age and times, we all know how important data is. If you think about politics, data that is available has been used to manipulate politics in certain places. Stories like the Cambridge Analytica, those are stories that have come up that relate to what data in the wrong hands can be used for. And of course, I mean, there are all these shrewd business people who might not use ethical practices to use the data that they have to do certain things. We're here, TikTok is banned, and we are trying to log in now. We cannot log in. If you're going to your platform, that is what is greeting you. It remains to be seen how that is going to be. For those of us who just joined, we were just getting excited already. And we hope this was going to be like a new platform that was, I was starting to have fun, finding what people do. I hadn't learned what people really, really do. And there are some interesting things that people do in there. Lion. One of the funniest part is very old looking ladies, so busy asking people to tap on their screens. And I remember there was one time that, I was seeing a video of one of them falling asleep and wakes up into it and goes like tap, 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 tap. And I'm like, oh man, whatever it is that is happening in there must be really, really important. Okay, so what lessons? Very many businesses have been affected by this ban, and there is a number floating around. It's about, I think, 70 million or 700 million businesses that have been affected by this ban. And that means out of the 24.2 billion USD that TikTok contributed to the GDP, those are businesses that have been affected, right? And that's according to Oxford Economics. What I want us to think about right now is what lessons can we learn out of this ban, right? Number one is to diversify your presence. What that means is that you should not rely on one single platform as your only space where you operate your business, because then in the event that something like this happens, you're doomed. Can you imagine that you've been doing business on TikTok and that is the only platform that you had, and suddenly today comes and now you can't even log in. The people that knew you cannot even reach you. You cannot reach them. You didn't have any other way of, displaying your products. What happens? I foresee a situation where a lot of people might even swing to needing help psychologically, because this can be devastating. Let's go to lesson number 2. Understand platform policies, right? Familiarize yourself with each platform in terms of service, community guidelines, and data policies. Let's go to number 3, data privacy and security. And maybe this goes to the owners of these platforms. Fix that, so that you don't get yourself shut down and then you have all these people that depend on your business who cannot now function. Let's talk about the 4th, transparency and communication. If you have a platform like this, if you have an app like this, you need to be able to communicate to your people what your policy is regarding data collection. Like if you're collecting data, what are you doing with this data? How do you store it? And what are the sharing practices? Like, for example, if, say, government requires data about a certain demographic, you need to have it in place that you can be able to tell those who sign up to your platform that this is what data you're going to collect, this is how you're going to store it, and this is what you can do with it if it is required for sharing. So that when someone is coming in, they already know that. That is what transparency means. If you keep gray areas in terms of like you're not even saying whether or not you can do share this kind of data with this authority, then there is somehow the possibility of someone suspecting that there is something that you're hiding. The last one is point number 5, contingency planning. When something like this happens, you realize how vulnerable we all are. What else could I do in the event that this platform is no longer active? And then, of course, we need to speak about recommendations, like moving forward. What are we gonna do? Number 1, stay informed. That is the first recommendation. Stay informed continuously. Monitor the platforms, okay? Keep checking the updates. Keep checking the policy changes. And of course, keep an eye on the regulatory reforms or developments. Technology keeps developing. There are new forms of low breakage that happen. And so you need to keep an eye on what is happening out there so that you're not caught unawares. Number 2, diversify your revenue streams. If you go to my YouTube, the last video I posted, I talked about streams of happiness. Okay. Yeah. Well, we were talking about streams, and I was discussing that there are many reasons that would make you happy. For example, when you wake up, it means you're alive. That is a reason to be happy. Second, you're healthy. Is a reason to be happy. You have peace. It's a reason to be happy. You have wisdom. It's a reason to be happy. You have opportunities. Is a reason to be happy. And your family is a reason to be happy. So all those are streams of happiness, so that even if one doesn't work, you have another one. But what we're talking about here is finding multiple revenue streams, so that in the event that maybe you are doing your business online, meaning using a platform like TikTok, you need to diversify so that you have different ways. You might need to have some physical items that you're actually selling or trading in. Number 3, build your own community. What does that mean? Like, it is important for you to create direct links with your market. Okay. Like, you have people's numbers, you have people's emails, you have people's contacts, like there is a way that you're able to communicate to people through other means, not just through the app, because those are other ways in which you can get in touch with such people in the event that the platform that you use goes down. I don't know if you guys have been around in a moment and power goes off, or there's an interruption in Wi-Fi, and now you don't have bundles or you don't have internet. You realize how vulnerable you are because you can't even operate your accounts. You can't buy anything because if you have no internet, you cannot transact from your phone if you do online banking, right? It happened not too long ago. I just realized how vulnerable we all are. Number 4, advocate for platform neutrality. When you know there is a platform that has certain kinds of rules that are skewed towards a certain thing, it is incumbent upon you to join those that advocate and push for neutrality, because at the end of the day, it's just like open source. I mean, when you're thinking about what resources are available on the internet that are accessible to everybody, wherever they are, that freedom to be able to access all these facilities, that is something you need to jump into and support and advocate. And lastly, develop cross-platform strategy. Design a content strategy that can be easily adapted across multiple platforms. Is what you're producing in, that you share on TikTok capable of being shared, or can you share it effectively on Instagram? Can you share it effectively on Facebook? Can you share it effectively on YouTube? Okay, so that a strategy to come up with content that can be adapted to be used in all those other platforms is a good idea for you to go through. So I just wanted to jump in onto what has happened today, the ban on TikTok and the effect it has on the businesses, and many of us that have just jumped in. Some of us use it for therapy. There are people who just go in there to check out posts and then read comments. Many of us find a lot of fun in the comment section. But the impact of what has happened is likely to be felt. That I can assure you. Hope everything goes well and we get back TikTok, and hopefully we continue being in touch. My name is Tony Shira. Once again, take a moment to look at our other videos and of course, whatever it is that we're going to be sharing with you moving forward, and let us know what you think about this particular video and the next ones that you're going to see. What are your thoughts about the ban on TikTok? Let's engage. See you on the next. My name is Tony Shira. TCTV1 USA.